All right, let's talk some Matt Ryan for a second. I actually think with Matt Ryan, it's very fascinating the way his career has kind of gone. Obviously, he had that incredible 2016 season where he, threw for 4,900 yards, 38 touchdowns to just 7 interceptions. Passer rating was 117. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl and came very close to winning it. And since then, he had another really good year, 2018, and has for the past 3 years kind of staggered. Like his passer rating's been around 90 to 93 that entire stretch, which box score stats only get you so far, but typically they'll get you in the ballpark of how good a player is. I don't know if they're getting you in the ballpark here with Matt Ryan, though. I think Matt Ryan's played pretty well this season. I think he's a good quarterback still. And if Atlanta is going to just say, like, let's tear it down and rebuild, I think that, if you're a team trying to get a quarterback, maybe a similar deal to the Matt Stafford trade would be warranted, because I don't think that he's washed up by any means. He's only 36, which, that's not, he's not young at that point, but he's also not at the point where your wheels would fall off. I really think it's more of a, the offense has been kind of inconsistent. I think that's fair to say. But I actually think that when it's looked good, it's looked very good. And it showed these flashes when when things are going well. And this was one of those examples. So let's get into the film and talk about what went well against the Carolina Panthers. All right, so let's start things off with this play. It's a simple play. It's nothing too fancy. But quite frankly, this is what you want to see your team be able to do, is simple things like this, where it's going to be a cover one play and you have a receiver just running over the middle. You basically are just hoping that you can have a receiver win their own one-on-one matchup. That is the goal here. This is Russell Gage, who, I would say he's been a streaky player at times, but he can certainly, beat man coverage here and there. So him trying to get open, and this is honestly, it's a key thing that you can hope he can do well. And watch how once this play begins, you're going to notice that he's just winning his one-on-one matchup right there. He gets open and you're able to pick up a first down. So right off the bat, you're doing stuff well. And when you have stuff like this that can work, it sets things up and it makes things easier for the rest of the offense to work. And this is Russell Gage. This isn't this isn't Julio Jones, but this is something that can help you, because then you can simply just do stuff like this. The running game starts to work, of course, and then teams don't really want to play man coverage because you do have guys who can beat man coverage, and not just like, the reason why I wanted to show a Russell Gage play is because you could think, all right, well, sure, Kyle Pitts can beat man coverage, but just double him and you're fine. But that's not exactly how that works, because other guys can do it. So then teams start to play zone, which also helps you stop the run. But then things like this happen, where you can just have a receiver, which in this case is actually Kyle Pitts, run over the middle and kind of get into a gap in coverage. And now you can actually get the ball into probably your at least most talented offensive playmaker. Watch, Ryan is going to take the snap, and this just gets open, and Ryan takes a hit but makes a good throw. And this is what Matt Ryan does really well. These types of plays where they're not high degree of difficulty plays, but he just makes them with such consistency. If it's like a throw that, it's okay, the offense wants you to get this done, it's not a difficult throw, but it is one you'll see like the average quarterback complete, 85% of the time. He just completes it every time. It's just like a gimme. If you scheme something open, he's going to hit it. And that's what you want to have as an offensive play caller, I would assume. Obviously, you love a Mahomes as well, but Matt Ryan being able to execute an offense as well as you call it certainly helps. Also, something like this, where this is going to be a Russell Gage play as well. Also, I know it's blurry right now. It's not on my end. This is on NFL Game Pass when I recorded it, because I screen record it. It's not like I download these plays. I have to just screen record my own screen and then I edit it and everything. It just was blurry every time I do it. It's kind of happened this year with the whole new NFL Game Pass thing. Sometimes you just got to deal with it. But anyways, what's happening here is this is kind of, honestly, this is a lot of what Arthur Smith likes, is you have a cover 3 zone you're going up against, you run a play action, and you have a receiver run deep towards the bottom of the screen. This is, once again, Russell Gage, as I said, who's actually running a good route here. This was a good game by Russell Gage. Watch what he's going to do. Look at how Gage is going to just run this little fake as though he's going over the middle, but then he runs the deep route to allow him to get back in position. Meanwhile, the play action does, it kind of works. It's not exactly what you expected it, but part of the reason why the play action worked was just because it helps sell that route as a whole. Because against play action, typically routes over the middle is what Arthur Smith likes, but you can build off of that. And that's what I think Arthur Smith does so well, and why he's such a good offensive mind, and why, he was so good in Tennessee. It wasn't just having Derrick Henry and A.J. Brown and Ryan Tannehill. No, it was, he's a good play caller, and especially when he at least has enough talent on his team and there is stuff going right, this offense has looked very good at times. And also look at this throw from Matt Ryan. Again, it's the exact, he can just execute an offense. It's not making something happen out of nothing, but this is the throw that, quite frankly, if I'm talking about replacement level plays, I don't know if this is not a replacement level play. A replacement level quarterback, I would not say makes that play. So this is an above replacement level play, getting the ball down the field. This is how you can add value as a quarterback without having to, make something happen out of nothing. Executing an offense is an incredibly valuable skill. It's how he won an MVP and nearly won a Super Bowl. Now, there was this play, which wasn't the best. It's going to be man coverage, and this is going to be a flea flicker, but this is kind of one of those, you got unlucky with the play call, because flea flickers are mostly designed to beat zone coverage, because against man coverage, it can work against man, but basically what you're hoping is that someone who's playing man coverage no longer covers the guy they're supposed to cover because they think it's a running play and get out of position. Zone can kind of work a little bit better in terms of this, but either way, watch what happens. So they're going to run the flea flicker, and Ryan gets the ball back, and you see over the middle, you can see why Matt Ryan wants to make this throw. There is a bit of an opening. The issue is mostly just because of how long it took for him to get the ball back due to the flea flicker. Now a safety is over and can make this play. Tajee Sharp is the guy over the middle. For me, I would say this is it's a tough throw for Ryan to make. He's going to try to see if he can make Tajee Sharp make a tough catch, and if not, it just falls incomplete, which I get the logic behind, but when it's Tajee Sharp, maybe not the guy to do it to. It's not like you have Calvin Ridley out there. And as you see, this one actually was initially ruled an interception, eventually did not, got overturned. It was ruled incomplete eventually, but could have been intercepted. Bit of a dangerous throw. That's not ideal, but again, it happens. I wanted to show a negative, but for the most part, this offense is doing a pretty good job, and I've been impressed. Pleasantly surprised, I would say, especially without Calvin Ridley. This offense is still doing good, which is certainly nice to see for Atlanta fans. So yeah, listen, is this going to be enough for the Falcons to get into the postseason? I just don't know. I think Matt Ryan is very good. There are definitely some issues in this team, but, the one way you always have a chance to win is with a good quarterback, and we've kind of seen that a few times this season where that's come into play. So, again, are they going to win? Is Matt Ryan going to be the guy that leads them to the playoffs kicking and screaming? I'm not counting it out for sure. It's absolutely possible. It'll be interesting to see, though. But yeah, that's kind of what I think. And I think maybe more broad strokes, it's looking like, okay, in the first year under Arthur Smith, you're moving in the right direction. And that's all you're trying to do. So yeah, that's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from y'all. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.